Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then hello, welcome. So if you are new here, or you may have already, but I'm currently doing like a little series on like how to do certain steps of like the makeup routine. I've done winged liner and lashes I think so far. I think they're the only ones I've done. But today is all about like cream contour, so getting them snatched faces, which is obviously what we all love and want. So I've obviously gone through, this is obviously the end result, but we will go through the steps for cream contouring, and yeah, it's my favourite step, so I really encourage you to watch this bit. And yeah, if you do want to see it, if you like the idea of it, like, subscribe, comment down below anything else you want to see from me, and yeah, let's get into how I cream contour my face. Right, so contour, this is what we're going to be focusing on today. So I've only put foundation on. I've gone in with my trusty all-time favourite foundation. It's the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear in Barcelona. So I've just done a layer of that on my skin. So with contour, I'm obviously showing you like how to cream contour today. Cream contour, it does still start with the concealer, if that makes sense. Obviously it's not contour as such, it is concealer, but to get the correct shaping of your face, it starts from when you apply your concealer. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna do my concealer and my cream contour and like show you how to do it to get the most like flawless structured face. So first things first, I normally go in with two different concealers when applying. Basically you need two concealers. You don't need two concealers, but I would recommend getting two different colours in your concealer. One colour being quite close to the foundation shade that you have. So in this case I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape and I've got light medium. This is like my most popular shade that I use on myself. So I would go in with light medium first. This is going to act as the actual concealer, so it's going to get rid of any of them dark circles that are under your eyes. But like concealer has changed quite a bit. Like, I mean, concealer constantly changes on like how to apply it and stuff, but actually now less is more. You just got to make sure that you're putting it in the right places. So I always take a concealer brush so you can get like precise with where you're applying it. So I will start to apply it right in the inner corner of my eye, but I'm bringing it down the side of my nose. That way that is already like making that nose contour, and then from that point I will just fan it out just a tiny bit though, just focusing it right where that darkness is. Can you see? Just like that. I don't go in with full blown triangles anymore, just like a tiny little bit like that. And then what you want to do is you want to bring another like bit of concealer up towards your temples from the outer part of your eye. So you know, like when you clean up a wing, sort of like that. And this is already going to lift your face. So obviously this part, that's just concealing, that dark under eye, but this bit is going to already lift your face up. Because with contouring and obviously your cream contour and your concealer works as like your highlighting sort of, I don't know what to call it. Like it works as like a highlighter. So anything that you are concealing, you're actually bringing it forward and highlighting it. So that's why we like to have a brighter under eye and like all of that, and then your contour works as like your shadow, which then creates that face shape. So that's like the under eye concealer done. And then I will put a little bit on my forehead, but just like in the middle. So starting from the middle of the two eyebrows, and again fanning it out. And just fix this nose contour a little bit. So as you can see, I'm already contouring my nose, and then a little bit down the center, and then a little bit in the center of my chin, because again we want to bring this forward. And then I'm gonna do two little lines from where your lips meet, like your inner corner of your lips, and again dragging that upwards, because this is again gonna lift the bottom part of your face. So just like that. Right, so now that concealer is all placed down, we're now gonna buff it out. I'm gonna leave my under eye till last, just so it stays on my skin a little bit, and then that's like gonna add to the coverage. So I'm just patting this out, and obviously with these two little lines, I'm dragging it upwards. You will see once I start to put the cream contour down why it makes sense to bring these two lines up. Because already it's gonna create that lifted face effect. So just patting this all out in the center of my nose and then my forehead. So I'm always fanning up into this concealer, but again we're still patting. And like the thing is, where you place the concealer, you shouldn't have to move the product around. It should just basically pat where you've already placed it. So then same with the under eye. So I'm literally just patting and fanning out, obviously bringing it all along the eye. And then with the temples, we're obviously buffing it upwards to create that lift. I'm just gonna pat on top of my lids as well, just to distribute some concealer there, like so, and then the same on the other eye. So literally just pat in. You don't want to bring your concealer too far down onto the apples of your cheeks. You want to really be focusing it up where your dark circles are, and then bringing it up towards the temples and on the lids. That's why I always suggest to go in with a concealer brush and place the product first. That way you can get really precise in like where you're placing it and not get like going overboard with it. Going in the exact place that you need it to be. So that's the first layer of concealer. As you can see, it's pretty much the same as my foundation. A little slight brighten to it, but nothing too crazy. But obviously that has concealed all my under eyes. That is why I will then go in with a lighter concealer. So in this case I'm going in with still Tarte Shape Tape, but this is light sand, and I'm literally just gonna do a dot in either corner of my under eye. And again, this is gonna like really brighten it now, so it's gonna give that extra pop and bring this out even more. And then with the same brush, just buffing it out, but like you're literally just focusing it right where that dark circle is, just to brighten up. Can you see that? It just gives it a nice little extra pop, like so. Now we can go on to our cream contour, which is the main event, which is gonna really structure our face. I always recommend cream contour and like cream products in general. If you're looking to make your makeup last longer and look more flawless, like cream contour is the way to do it, because it acts as a base for like everything else to stick onto. So like when you're wearing your makeup, if your powders start to come off during the day, which like no doubt they will, because that's just what happens, if you've got the cream products underneath, that keeps it lasting on longer, because obviously when them powders go away, there's still something there, if that makes sense. So contour essentially is more, so a lot of people always ask me what's the difference between like a bronzer and a contour. So a contour is essentially more cool toned and is obviously creating that shadow, which is really gonna like structure your face. But to be fair, I do still sometimes do like a cream bronze, but I will still apply it in the same way that I'm going to show you how to apply it. So really it just depends on the shade. So if I'm going for like a more cream bronze, I'll go for like more of like a tanned orangey cream contour, like my all-nighter in, what is the shade that is in? Hazelnut. So it's got more of like an orangey, yellowy brown to it. Whereas, so this one, the Revolution foundation stick in F14, is a bit more like ashy cool tone, but not too ashy, because you've got to be careful with the ashiness of things, because obviously too ashy you can start to look dirty. But again, if you apply it correctly, like, you should be fine. But this is a really good one, so I'm going to use this today just to show you. I mean, I'm gonna, just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna put it straight onto my face, just so you can like see exactly where I'm putting it, and like if you want to take a picture or whatever, you can see the structure of it. I change it up really. Sometimes I will get the brush and put it on my foundation stick and then go onto it, or I will just draw it on my face. If you're drawing it on your face, just work a bit quicker with it. Like, you can't leave it sitting there for too long. And I know that I can with this because it's a good product and it's blended and creamy and stuff. So obviously just be careful with that sort of thing. But either way, in my eyes, is okay. But this way it's easier for me to show you where I'm putting it. So let's start with our cheekbones. And do you know what? Once, like, obviously now I've done that concealer, it will make sense where to put your contour. So obviously we've done the lines coming up from the corner of our mouth. That's because above that is where we're going to start our cream contour. So cream contour, essentially you're starting it from like the top of your ear. So like, can you see, like here, down to the corner of your mouth. So I will apply a bit there, like that. And then with your forehead contour, where we started that concealer going upwards, we'll then start above that. So just above our temple. So we obviously finished the concealer here, and that's where we contour. And then I will just go around the forehead on the outer part, because remember, this is creating the shadow, so we're avoiding where we highlighted. So the same on this side, top of the ear, diagonally down towards that mouth, and then obviously chin or jaw, whatever you want. You want to sort of make sure it goes under the jawline and not on the jawline, because that's going to create the shadow, otherwise it's going to not be the right shape. Then you can do a bit of nose contour. So nose contour, essentially, again, where we done that concealer, our contour lines are going to go above them lines, if that makes sense. So obviously we done concealer all the way sides of our nose. So I'm getting a smaller brush. This is a Dull Beauty DB7 brush, and I'm going to draw a line above where I put that concealer. And essentially, the skinnier you want your nose, the closer your lines are going to go together. And obviously we've done the concealer line down the middle, that's going to highlight it. So yeah, essentially the closer your two lines are together, the skinnier your nose is going to look. You also want to make sure you're bringing it all the way to your brow, and then you're going to do underneath just to lift it, like so. So this is where you put your contour. Some people like to do a bit of lip contour, so just around the lips to give that a little bit more of a definition, making them a little bit bigger. So I've just gone around like that. I do look crazy, I'm aware, but yeah, just like this. So this is where all your cream contour is going. Right, and then you are going to start to blend this concealer, cream contour out. So I always go in with like an angled brush, smaller angled brush, to pat this out. It's just really simple. And again, because you've placed it down, you don't really need to move anywhere. So you're just patting along where you've placed it, and eventually it will like all buff out. But like, again, you're patting it and you're like bringing it up towards your hair. Can you see the difference? Then again, starting from here, patting, bringing it up in towards the hairline. But because this brush is angled, it makes like your work so much easier, because it's nice and dense and you can like proper buff it out where you need it to be. You're just working with it. Same on this side. So placing it and just pushing along up in towards the hairline. And obviously you can clearly see the structure of your face starting to form. And then the same with the jawline. Obviously the jawline, you want to start to like spread it along, and then you're just patting it. Like, it should just blend out so easily. Getting under that chin, and that's gonna also like create that shadow underneath, get rid of any double chins, create that nice jawline, which I need because I don't really have a good one. Cream contour is my favourite step, I think, out of like the whole makeup routine. So with the lips, I'm just gonna pat over them. It's not really a method to the madness, because obviously then once you put your lip liner on and stuff, it will look a bit better. At the moment it always looks a bit weird. Then with the nose, I'm just going to tap over it with this big brush, but I will go in with a sponge just because I find that's best for the nose, because I do like a nose contour, but I don't want to like have a complete contoured nose, you know what I mean? I want it to look natural, but obviously we do need a bit of something going on with the nose. And then obviously, like I always say, you can get the beauty sponge and pat this all over just to press everything in. Like, look at this, and like, it makes such a difference to your face having that cream contour on, the structure, everything, and it just makes your makeup last. It just makes your, like, it makes such a difference to your makeup. If you're not already cream contouring, you need to, and that is literally it. It's really simple. Once you know where you're placing everything, it's really simple. Place it and buff it out, lifting it up, and yeah, you've got your cream contour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go apply the rest of my makeup, and then I will be back. And just like that, the makeup is done. And yeah, that is how I cream contour my face with, yeah, like I say, it starts with a concealer. Concealer is like a really important part to making sure that the actual cream contour works as well. Once you've got the placement, just like know where you got to put it, blend it out upwards, and you will look like a snatched queen. Well, we try to look like a snatched queen, but honestly, cream contour makes the biggest difference to your makeup. Like I said throughout, if you don't already cream contour, you need to, because you will notice a difference with it lasting longer, looking like better, obviously more structured. It is my favourite step. So yeah, that is how I cream contour. Let me know what else you want to see. I feel like I'm just going to basically break down the face with like little things, because that like basically just give a bit more in depth of each step, rather than just like when I do my tutorials of like me just talking and stuff like that. So yeah, that is the cream contour stage. And before you leave, like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, comment down below what else you want to see, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.